You're live. Woo! Hopefully, these headphones slash microphone that I just bought at Walmart was is working properly. I meant to bring my own from home, but I didn't. I didn't really plan on going out to this evening, but they had live music here at Johnny B's, and it happened to be acoustic music, so I'm really hoping that it's great. I actually just brought my acoustic guitar up here to get fixed, and I'm pretty excited about getting back into musical things. Music was one of my first loves, and throughout the years when I was especially completely engulfed in, I don't want to say the Matrix because Matrix all yay, 55 seconds in and we're already getting into occult teachings. Okay. Occult really just means, hidden. Um, and this whole concept of the matrix, if you look into the etymology of matrix, it just means it's like it's connected to mother, the matter, and the mother's womb. And for me, like I, especially being a flat earther, really love the connection of like being in the mother's womb. Hopefully, you guys can hear me well, like I said, with this microphone. Um, so there's like a false matrix, and then there's like the real matrix that we're actually in, like the mother in physical matter, and they're all I shouldn't say obviously, because for a lot of people a lot of this stuff isn't obvious that I speak of, but sorry, I have my computer connected and I'm trying to cross my legs and I'm just getting caught up in all these cords. It's kind of funny that there's so many snake like entities here, like connecting us when you think about physically Nakash being the ones that are essentially farming humans. Um, so let's just not really get into the, like, let's not talk about the occult things about chords. Okay, that's a little bit too far, but we can, I mean, obviously we can talk about anything here as long as it doesn't get my channel deleted, because if I get my channel taken down, then I won't be able to go live, and I'm not willing to do that. So anyways, matter, the matrix, a true matrix, we're in the mother, but then there's a false, a false history, a false science, a false construct, essentially, right? Like you're given this illusion of choice. You think that over time, presidents have, like, we're essentially given this false paradigm, right? Paradigm matrix, kind of. How many words do we have to say the same thing that are synonymous, right? Um, but having this false, essentially humans are on a farm and we're given a false history and everything to make us believe that we're not on a farm, to make us think that we're free, to make us think that over time humanity is getting better, when in reality, if you actually look, like not just Tartaria, but Atlantis, and specifically where I have been drawn to, like, look into, is Mu, MU, which is referred to as many as the motherland of man. James Churchward has a lot of information about it, which is free online. I love free. I don't know about you. I think information should be free. I don't believe that we should be having to pay for it. I think that, knowledge is power, and the more that humans know, the more that we know. I guess I don't mean to limit it as a human thing. The more that we know as souls, the more empowered that we can be. Like if we know that we're gods and goddesses, that alone has its own power. Like knowing that we can manifest our reality and change our own deeds to make ourselves improve ourselves on a physical level and all this stuff. So yeah. Anyways, I didn't necessarily mean to get off onto that tangent as soon as we started off here. But thank you for joining me. Oh, Jason's here. Woohoo! How's it going, Jason? David D is here. John D says, I went down the same rabbit hole. Props to you for staying true. Thanks for joining. I'm glad that there's a lot of people on Ton's channel that, wanted to pass me off as just crazy. And it's not just him, it's not a personal thing. Every single channel that wants to see truth speakers, those that question the official narrative and accept a different, those people, I don't want to say accept a different truth, right? Because there's only one truth. But ultimately, these people are accepting that as their own truth. They're accepting a lie as truth. So, that's a lie never becomes truth, no matter how many times you say it, no matter if you believe it full-heartedly. If you can believe till you're blue in the face that Santa Claus is real, that the earth is a giant spinning ball, that you evolved from pond scum, and that won't become truth. So there's certain things about our reality that are like fundamental truths that cannot be changed, no matter how much willpower that we believe. Even if you convinced every single human, which pretty much for the majority of history has been the case, you can convince every single human that they live on a giant spinning ball, but it will not actually become the truth, right? The earth that we're in is an enclosed realm, and it can never become the fact that, so one situation shows us to be inside of this yellow submarine on I don't want to make any gang symbols, right? Like the people that are against me will use literally anything against me that they can. So if I'm sitting here making some signs, I'll be like, oh my gosh, freebase. And it's like, just get over yourself. I'm trying to talk here. Okay. So in the flat earth reality, truth, we are in an enclosed realm. Like there's a flat surface in the middle of this enclosed realm that we're on. No matter how many humans that you convince that are on this realm to believe that they live on a giant spinning ball whirling through space, it can't be possible. You would have to take us on this flat surface, right? Like we have us in America here, and them in Australia here, all looking up at the same sky. We all have the same sun and the same moon, the same. This is what happens when you buy really junky equipment. Okay. We're all living under the same dome, under the same sky. It doesn't matter how many people you convince, it'll never change to be that we're on suddenly the outside of the dome and the earth is a ball with us here and people in Australia upside down whirling around the sun. Like you can't change that about our reality. But what you can change about our reality is the condition that it's in. We're right now all experiencing a hell. I can't say we all, but the majority of humanity are experiencing these slavery conditions where they have to work a 9 to 5 to put food on the table. They're constantly worried about how their family will, eat, how they will have clothes on their back, all of these different worries, right? That's something that we can change. And if you look at the way the animals are treated, you can understand why humans are literally consenting to the reality that we're in. If you think that you should be free while you enslave animals, you're very deceived. The Cassie that we're with here is my cute little cow. I'm so excited. I actually generated her using AI, and she's like my new favorite vegan symbol. And I'm super stoked to see my own artwork on on me. So, yeah. Anyways, I'm glad that you guys are here to experience the premiere of Cassie and hopefully some good music. I really don't know what's going to happen here tonight. They're supposed to have some sort of acoustic music starting at 9, but it is 9:09 and we still haven't started. So we'll see what happens. David D says occult teachings on the mother matrix. Yes, exactly. The first time that I even heard of Sophia was Proverbs 8, and it was actually, ironically, a comment made by Lilith to talk about Sophia and the mother and have a more balanced. Before this, I actually, maybe was referenced to Mother Goddess teachings. Sorry, I'm trying to. These are really, really crappy headphones. Any Mother Earth teachings were, demonized by being in a Christianity, ultimately, mainstream Christianity, which is what I refer to as Pollyanity. It's very unbalanced. It's very patriarchal. It's Father, Son, and Holy Spirit all being a male trinity, right? Well, I teach that the original trinity is Father, Mother, and Child, and that should resonate true with you, like the most natural trinity being a man and a woman and their child, right? So hopefully that resonates with you true, and if it doesn't, I would definitely encourage you to, start trying to tune in your, I guess, truth radar. I don't know. For me, as soon as I started to really question things, I started saying, I need to believe things because I believe them, not because someone taught me to believe them, not because my parents taught me to believe them in a religious manner, not because my teachers taught me to believe them in the school arena. That's when I started to follow the Torah and these unclean versus clean meats and all these other things that are outlined in the Torah. And that's also when I woke up to flat earth. So it kind of was a really big, almost avalanche, if you will, of truth that came at me at one time. And it's like, I need to question everything that I've been taught at this point and, figure it out. And there are some things that really, like for flat earth, as soon as I saw it was actually Mark Sargent's Under the Dome full documentary. It was like just a depiction of this flat earth and this enclosed realm. It made a lot more sense to me. It resonated inside. It was just like a gut feeling almost that was like, that's just the truth. So for me, there was no cognitive dissonance. But I also never really had any of these space desires or astronaut fantasies a lot. I think it's more of a male type thing to want to like explore the space, and I don't know. I'm not saying that there aren't females that feel that way as well, but for me, I never had any of the desires to be an astronaut or anything like that. So, yes. David D says that Gnostic teachings is obvious to Gnostics. And also on that note, there are Gnostics that believe totally separate things. Gnosis ultimately just means a knowledge of spiritual mysteries. And there are like Gnostics of every sect of religions. For instance, there are like, Jewish Gnostics or Christian Gnostics or Gnostics, Gnostics. But one of the main things that Gnostics disagree on is, like, some say that physical matter is evil, that we shouldn't reproduce. They take a very negative spin on reality. It's so irritating. Next time I'm going to listen to my intuition because it's right all the time. I looked before I left home today. I looked at this pair of headphones that never has issues, and I just said, "Should I take them?" Oh no, I won't. And like, I just should have listened to that. And now I'm feeling extremely irritated. I apologize. Um, anyways, some Gnostics take a very negative view of physical existence. And to be honest, look at the average human today, and their souls have been like further corrupted by being in matter. So I definitely, oh wait, sorry about that. I wanted it to, sorry, before I get into this Gnostic teaching, I wanted to make sure that I added Jason as a moderator. I apologize for managing moderator. Okay. Woo! Okay. Sorry, I totally forgot about that. And there's a lot of check your DM really quick. Give me a second to get back to the thing about the Gnostics. Oh my goodness, I really hate these headphones. Obviously, you get what you pay for, and one of the things that's really irritating about this reality is that I thought that the music was gonna stop. Okay, everything is like made not to last. What is the word that's like planned? It's a really fancy word that I don't feel like looking up right now. My phone battery's at 2%. Ooh! Kyle's making a new vegan shirt, and I'm pretty excited to see. Oh, Kyle, these are really cool. Okay. All right. Kyle, I definitely like this. Yes. Okay. There's so much going on, and I do apologize for that. I really thought that they were going to be starting with the acoustic music, and that we could have a little bit of enjoyment of live music together, especially if they're going to be planning. Well, we already know that they're going to be planning, but they have more planned, lockdowns in our future with masks and all of the stupid vaccine IDs that were required to like get into places and all this nonsense. I 100% admit that viruses are real, but I am 100% against jabs. So let that be known before we go into the next round of this depopulation agenda. I'm risking my channel talking about this just so everybody knows. Every time I talk about anything that is considered medical misinformation by the powers that be, which translates to anything that has to do with natural medicines, I only promote those. Like, I think that fasting and purification of diet is like the number one thing that you can do to prevent any diseases, any cancers, any viruses, anything, to reverse aging, to heal from the lifelong damage that you've done. We've all done it. Anyone listening to my voice, well, I really kind of hope that you're an adult. You really shouldn't be listening to me if you're a child. Even so, I'm trying to be a good influence on you if you are a child. And you should stop consuming dead things. Stop consuming things like I'm sitting here eating French fries. Even potatoes that are cooked are dead. These are dead things that are not doing any justice to my body. They're not helping me become any closer to the goddess that God created me to be. God created you to be a god, to be a goddess, whatever sex that you are biologically. That's who I'm talking to. I'm not talking to any inverts. Like, God did not create you to be an invert. If you are confused about your sex, about any of these things, that is a demonic attack, and they are trying to confuse you to ultimately turn you from a god or a goddess, whatever your biological sex is, into a clown. And if you're a boy who goes and chops off his male business down there and puts fake boobs in, like, you're going away from God's creation into clown status, okay? That's nothing to be proud of. That's nothing to be parading about and rejoicing over, okay? That's just evil. I do promote pride in what you are at a fundamental level, what God created you to be, but that's if you're something to be proud of. And the baseline of that for me is obviously being true to the sex that you were born as, but also being a vegan. Like, if you aren't a vegan, you shouldn't be proud of yourself no matter what. You're an animal abuser. There's not like, oh, pat on your back. You can be friendly to others of your species. That's great. That's like that's like the bare minimum of decency. But if you're not a protector of the innocent, then anyways. All right. So one of the things I wanted to mention, John Doe. Sorry, I read David D. and John Doe. John D. is actually who created the watchtowers, which has to do with different magical, obviously angelic. I shouldn't say. I shouldn't really get away with saying obviously, because things that are obvious to me really aren't obvious to other people. Anyways, John Dee's Watchtower of Angels is one of the first magical things that I actually came across, and yeah, it's really interesting how it also has like the four corners of the earth, and how Enoch's earth. If you look up the scrolls of Enoch, these texts that are left out of the Bible, and specifically like the laws of the luminaries, and where Enoch goes into explaining the actual physical reality that we live in. I really love the laws of luminaries. It talks about these like portals essentially that the earth, that are on either side of the earth, and where the sun actually rises in the east and sets in the west. So it enters a port. I gotta watch out what hand signals I use. I wouldn't want to be speaking with my hands in flash gang signals, would I? It rises in the east and comes through these portals on one side, and then it goes across our earth and then enters into another one as the sun setting and rising due to our perspective, essentially, how perspective works. If you've been watching my channel for any amount of time, you might know that my art teacher is kind of like what really solidified my, as soon as I started looking into flat earth things, what my art teacher taught me just really clicked in my mind, because she like walked to the chalkboard and just drew a point in the middle of the chalkboard, and then drew a horizontal line for the horizon, and then taught us about the vanishing point and how everything goes at this angle towards the point. And the point, it's not that the earth ends at that point, right? It's that you can't see any further. So the whole concept is the same with flat earth, and how people say, oh, well, ships are disappearing due to curvature. They're actually disappearing due to perspective, how your eyes work. And if you go and get a camera, if you get even just binoculars, you don't even have to go and spend that much money. Get some binoculars and zoom in. You actually see that ship again, proving that it never went over any curvature, right? Because if it actually went over curvature, getting binoculars from over here, you wouldn't be able to see it again because it went over the curvature. You would only be able to see it again if it was outside of your view on a flat surface, or flatter, at least until that object was, right? So, anyways, woohoo. Not really sure when this live music will start here. I do appreciate that you guys are here with me this evening. We'll see what goes on. Hopefully this microphone thing is even worth it, because it's kind of a pain for me to try to keep it going. Humans are a species with amnesia, John Doe says. Yes, I definitely agree with that. There's a quote by Manly P. Hall, I believe, that basically says that Gnostics say that gods and humans are gods and goddesses that have amnesia, right? Like, to be born as babies, we can't, like, I mean, I guess we could come in knowing everything, but part of the reality that we're in is that we don't know everything. I mean, honestly, it would probably really, really stink and annoying to have a child. You imagine being the parent of a child that literally knows everything. It'd be like super annoying. On one hand, it'd be pretty cool if they were connected to the truth of our reality and they were like this oracle of truth. But at the same time, it's like if this child knows better from the beginning and they are like smarter than you and everything, it would have its own annoyance to begin with. But in general, like, if you think about history in itself and like you take a step back from where we are in humans in creation, I believe that we were created in this Edenic Garden of Eden, this paradise where we were very connected to the divine. We knew the truth of our reality and we had everything. And basically, we have to get from that spot to where we are now, and having all of this deception and what were we talking about? Yeah, so having all of this deception and these dark ages and the fall from knowledge kind of gives Mother Earth a history, her story, if you will. But yeah, she's seeking wisdom, and she can't get a very well-rounded, I don't want to say these globe-trotted terms, well-rounded. She can't have well-rounded wisdom unless she's in a well-rounded place. Yeah, but there has to be a certain amount of essentially evil and darkness that is allowed in to bring the wisdom that she's seeking herself. Personally, I'm not seeking that wisdom. When it comes to me and having children, like, the tighter the parameters of control and purification ultimately that can be implemented, that's what I'm going for. I'm not looking for wisdom when it comes to my children. I want them to be as pure as possible. I want them to be innocent and righteous and shielded from the world. I mean, I'm here right now, and I mean, I wouldn't want my children here. I don't want them exposed to these, even people drinking. Like, I mean, I want it, all of these behaviors that are essentially negative. I don't want my children exposed to, especially eating animals. So, yes. I'm going to check out the live chat here. John Doe says there's nothing new under the sun. Yes, there is that biblical verse that says under the sun, which obviously implies that we are under the sun, right? It's a flat earth verse in itself, which is super cool. Jason says the iPad isn't working. Oh no. Hopefully it's just a little error that you can fix by restarting it and not actually having to replace it, so that would suck. It stinks how expensive electronics are and never built to last.
Yeah. Thanks for being patient, guys. We'll get things rolling here in just a minute.
Woo! Jason says we should make Cassie the Shasta vegan community mascot. I would definitely love that. She is really awesome. If I could have like a stylized version of like me hugging her and having her in different settings and other things, that would be awesome. But I generated her using AI, and the tools that I have don't allow me to I can't even make myself in a proper version, let alone making like a me with her or her in other situations or any of this stuff. So any of you artists out there that wanted to take Cassie and, you know, do great things that are vegan with her, then awesome. But if you are not vegan, then don't you dare think about stealing my design, or I will sue you, and I will love to go to court to fight over this because she's mine. And as a non-vegan, you don't deserve anything. Like, let's go. Let's fight. I'm getting feisty already, and I don't even know who you are. Okay. Woohoo! Jason says I have an activist wrench. Yeah, I'm really far behind in the chat, so I apologize for that. But yes, an activist wrench. Yes, that is sort of. I don't think I even have any non-vegans that have wrenches in my chat. So yes, woohoo! David D says he's a mod. Viruses are. Is this? Okay. I was like, is this in real life right now, or is this on some sort of recording? Like, look behind me and someone's actually playing a trumpet. Okay. We have all done damage. We have killed ourselves. Exactly. When you say that it's a acoustic show, that could actually really mean like basically any genre can be acousticized. Acousticized? Is that a word? I don't know. I'm not really sure how long I'm going to stay here or how long I'm going to stay live. But I'm definitely planning on going live on Sunday. Unfortunately, I wasn't really feeling well this past Sunday, and I ended up not even leaving my house, not getting dressed, and kind of just relaxing. So, yeah. John Doe says, I've seen the Earth rotate. Well, how could you see the Earth rotate if the Earth isn't capable of rotation? People have like astral projection type experiences, and they ultimately solidify their belief in the globe. But your astral projection, these experiences ultimately are going to be based off of your previously held beliefs. They're not going to be life-changing in the fact that they actually show you the truth of our reality and completely blow your mind to all of that. Your experience can be manipulated by other entities that are much more intelligent than you, much more smarter. I guess that kind of goes along with it, but these other entities that have actually created the globe deception, the evolution deception, they can use your astral projection experiences against you, your dream experiences to their advantage. Jason says he's in a spaceship. Really great
check tonight. Whoa. Sounds good to me, man.
Hopefully you can hear the sound well over this. I wanted to make sure that I was the loudest noise, but
all right.
Also so that you can hear
well,
that.
This is we are called.
Woohoo! Kyle says shirt ordered. Woohoo! You better bring it to Mount Shasta and wear it. I'm super excited to see your new shirt, Kyle.
And this song is about stuff.
David
Yep.
says mother
Yep.
needs
All the things,
wisdom,
all the
but all
magical,
she gets is
wonderful
darkness. Yes. These evil souls try to say that they are, worshiping Sophia, they're goddess worshippers, whatever, because they bring her the dark wisdom that she seeks. It's like, yeah, she is seeking wisdom, but ultimately what she wants is to be not a hell. Would you want to be all physical matter and be a hell that nobody wants to be in? Or would you rather be like a paradise that souls want to go into?
Somebody thought they saw you rolling down the street with the big old man from San Antonio. Can you hear that thunder? Hear that lonesome rhythm? Someone there know why you been down so long.
So the thing is that there's nothing that you could observe from standing on Earth to prove that we're on a giant spinning ball. Looking up in the sky only proves that the things in the sky are moving. So when you see the sun hitting at different spots during the different times of the year, it's because the sun is entering, well, according to the Book of Enoch, it's entering in different portals during different times of the year. So it is designed that way to produce time zones and seasons and different places on Earth. If you're like a little snowbird, you fly south during the winter and fly north during the summer. It's not what they're called, snowbirds? I don't know. There's a lot of people like that in Arizona that would come down to the desert for the summer, or I guess it was actually for the winter. Whenever it was the winter in the north, they would come down to the desert. So.
Yeah, that's a song. This next song is a song too. It's pretty cool. We do that. I just snapped the tip of my pick off. Oh, you broke your finger, bro? This song's dedicated to Billy Mays.
It's a really thin pick if you just broke it. Oh, I guess you could be pretty aggressive with it, but...
The other night, dear, as I
can you guys hear okay through the microphone?
I dreamed I held you in my arms. When I awoke, I was mistaken. Well, I hung my head and I cried. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when it's got gray. You'll never know it, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. I'll always love you and make you happy, even though you don't feel the same.
This reminds me of a cartoon character. I don't remember. I don't know what character reminds me of, but he just like almost reminds me of like spaghetti noodles or something. Like shred box with a groovy body. I don't know.
My only sunshine, you make me happy. When skies are gray, you'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away.
Woo!
So I got the wonderful Snyder from the wonderful band
John
Ancient
D.
Baby here on trumpet.
If
And I've got the wonderful Joey over
the
here.
Earth isn't a perfect sphere like Google Images says, and there are all of these supposed
Alright, so
satellites,
this next song's about my cat.
these things don't add up.
I went looking for him.
Why is it
He was
an
mewing in
oblique
the woods. I was
spheroid
drunk.
pear
And I was
shape?
walking around the woods
But
drunk.
that's not what
And I fell
that's not what the images
in the
show.
head. And that's what this song's
That
about.
should be enough to get you asking questions. Tip of the cowboy hat. Ooh.
I went walking through the woods to find out the love, the place that no man shall go. Well, I went a searching high, and I went searching low. Is my spirit even low?
Thank you for joining, John. I hope that you will join on another night so that we don't have all this commotion going on and that we can chat. Sweet dreams.
Well, I ran, and I ran, and I blacked out on the floor.
Flattening. says I'm flattening. Well, you do have to admit that there are some weird things going on with the stars and watery essence between us and them, right? I'm so excited to get my new, well, it's not a new, but I'm excited to get my guitar fixed. This is one of the reasons that I came up here to Medford today, and super excited to get back into playing music, but my guitar's been broken for a while, so. I'm not really sure how long he's going to go on for. I might log off and head home after he is done. But anyways, if you look at the stars, you'll actually notice, like I was saying, there is a watery effect over them. Like if you're in a swimming pool and you look like at the bottom of the swimming pool and there's like water through a swimming pool through the water, you can actually see this as a very distinct pattern. And you actually see that when you look at the stars. If you don't believe me, I dare you to come to Mount Shasta and I'll show you.
That's a song by Charlie Sheen.
And Charlie Sheen.
Yeah, exactly. And tigers. Cocaine tigers.
I don't agree with whatever is happening behind me. But yeah, if you look at the stars through an actual camera, and you'll see that they are these luminescent beings, and they're not actually all like the ones that we saw. I need a better tripod so that I can actually zoom into the stars. But there are all different colors, all different. Some of them don't. Some of them are like circular. Some of them are like flickering, like this. They don't actually have like a solid form to them, like a circle. So it's really interesting to actually look at these celestial bodies and see them through different eyes. Woohoo! I should play something that.
I've been scared. All the pain, chip away. Glass the teacher, glass the makeup in my brain, I'm insane. Where do we go from here, from now? Where do we go from here, from now? to find a reason why. Oh, time passes by. The shadows screaming past the gaskets in my brain. In my brain, I'm insane. Where do we go from here? From here, from high. Where do we go from here, from here, from now?